I don't know if I'm cut out for this whole YouTube thing. I don't think I ever really felt comfortable seeing myself as like the main character. I really only have turned the camera towards myself ever out of necessity, because there was nobody around to film, so I might as well film myself. And when it comes to travel, it was kind of the same way. I didn't really have anyone to go with, but I wanted to see something new and experience some new things, so I figured I'll just go it alone.
In 2023, I was at a point where I really needed a change. I had saved up some money and it was starting to feel like now or never. So I decided to hit the refresh button on my life, dump all of my savings into as long of a trip as I could afford, and just see what happens. I backpacked across 14 countries, 2 continents, and took in probably more life experience than the previous 3 years combined. It was everything that I could have hoped for, and it was probably one of the best things I've ever done. But if you try to explain solo travel to someone who's never even considered it, it sounds kind of insane. Traveling to a place you've never been, where you don't know anyone, completely alone, with only what you can carry on your back, and just kind of hoping that something cool happens to you as a result. You stay in hostels and sleep in a room full of beds with half a dozen strangers, and pretty soon you come to realize there's actually a lot of people doing the exact same thing. And that's kind of the paradox of solo travel. You meet so many more people simply because you are alone. Often you'll strike up a conversation with someone and within a few minutes, kind of non-verbally agree to become temporary travel buddies. You spend a little while experiencing an unfamiliar place together and find yourself sharing stories and parts of who you are to a complete stranger with surprising ease. But before you know it, you have to go your separate ways, and that's just kind of how it is. But these people color the journey in a way that hugely impacts the whole experience. And yet, sometimes they're gone so quickly that you're lucky to even get a single picture together. Lately, I've been thinking a lot about these people, where they've been, how they're doing, and what they're up to now. But then I realized I could just ask them. Hello?
Hello?
Hey, how's it going?
I'm good, yeah. Back to normal life.
Yeah, no kidding.
What's the crack? How's it going?
Pretty good, how are you?
Yeah, not too bad.
I just have like a recorder sitting next to my phone, so we're kind of leaning into the lo-fi aspect a little bit.
Okay, nice. It will work.
Nice to hear your voice again.
Yeah.
It's a bit nostalgic.
It's been a while. I wanted to ask the people I met about solo travel, why they do it, how it's impacted their lives, and hear some of their stories and what they learned along the way while traveling alone.
It was a point of my life was kind of a plateau. I quitted a job that it was not giving me anything anymore, and I didn't know what to do next. Everything else in my life was stable, so I was really looking for kind of a shock. I wanted to do it with friends or girlfriend, whatever. So I never expected to travel solo like that. But at the end, it was solo or not going, so I say, fuck them, I'm going alone.
In general, I was not very experienced in traveling or something. Yeah, maybe I thought I had to do this on my own to become like a fully adult or something. I don't know.
And then it was just like, right, I'm not getting any younger, I just need to because I've been talking about it for so long. So one day I just booked the flights. I was like, alright, if I book the flights, then I sort of have to go.
And when you're doing a long trip like that, like you're not going to be traveling with your friends, I'd say.
It's very hard to find someone that wants to go to a place for 2 months with you, and I've always been very independent, so the idea sort of created itself in time.
I started this trip with my boyfriend, but we broke up on the trip, so that's why I was solo at the time. I don't know, it was a bit of a tricky time because we were there for the wedding and so all of his family was with us. We didn't want to ruin the trip for the family, so we didn't say anything for a couple of weeks. But then eventually we were on our own again, and so I extended my trip a month. longer because I was like, there's no point being sad at home.
We were supposed to go to Thailand, but then my brother and my dad, they had to cancel their trip, and then they were like, if you want to go by yourself. And that was really unreal. I think it was 3 days before the plane would leave that I was like, okay, I think I'll just do this by myself. I didn't even have a credit card or something. I wasn't prepared at all.
I've been to a lot of places, I would say. India is a big country, first of all. It's a massive country. I've lived in cities, villages, mountains, at the beaches, by the snow. Quite a nomadic life. Like for some people, some of my friends, living in one city forever with their partner is the most ideal life. You know, I feel a person can feel stable in a way which feels unstable for another person.
I'm from a very small town and I have like very conservative parents, and like my hometown did give me a lot of possibilities, so it's just like I'm getting addicted to infinite possibilities that travel gives me.
So what would you say are like some of the advantages to traveling alone?
Well, you can do anything you want. You can go anywhere you want. If you're in a place that you really don't like, you can just leave. And place that you really like, you can stay for longer.
It's a great thing to realize too when you're solo traveling is just how do you want to travel too, right? Like when you're solo, you can just kind of fly by the seat of your pants. Because when I was on my solo travels, I was winging it too much, and I was like, "Fuck, am I gonna have a place to sleep tonight?"
You just kind of go with the flow and say yes to things. Like in Vietnam, I was at 2 weddings, and I was like the only Westerner there.
Like you have a lot of freedom to do whatever you want, and you get to meet people who you feel like kind of connect with. Just naturally, it is easier to make friends with people who are traveling by themselves.
I mean, in a way, it's just like making friends on easy mode, right? Like, because everyone else is there in the same like mindset kind of thing. So just walk up to anyone and say, "Hey, where are you from?" Yada yada yada, and then you can just like, it's so easy to make connections.
My best memories, of course, are with good people during my trips. And of course, like when we have been together in India, when you met great people, it's a fantastic experience.
I didn't plan going on a 14-day trek when I left. I haven't spent that long time ever in my life with a guy I didn't know at all before. I really enjoyed when we both brushed our teeth on this rooftop. I think that was really the most epic thing. Yeah, I remember this quite often when I'm brushing my teeth.
You just wake up one day and you don't know what's gonna happen, and then the day just start like completely different, and it's just all beautiful. And I mean, it was a perfect day. It was like what everyone imagines, you know.
Yeah.
Just spent all day like laughing and making jokes, swim in the beach and talk about your life and learn things and eat. Like we did everything actually.
Sometimes you just like talk to a person, you just know that in this short period of time, we're gonna have a kick-ass time together. Because the friendship is so quick, and it also is gonna depart so quick. So it's like gonna heal your heart and break your heart at the same time.
That can be why there's such nice moments, because you know that you have to leave. So then you don't really have any like care about things, and like you kind of just enjoy it for what it is. And like knowing that it's going to be taken away, it's like you enjoy it even more.
It's weird, because it's kind of like nobody knows you or whatever. I think it's kind of like the weight or sort of the baggage of the person you are at home isn't on you, and you can be a different person maybe.
I think while traveling, you meet these people who are not looking at you in a way where you're fully dressed up for a, event or something. They look at you with your dirty laundry. They look at you with your sloppy faces. Friends you make in traveling have actually seen you at your ugliest of the faces. And yet you end up, connecting with them.
but also, yeah, there was times where I was like, damn, I really wish I had somebody with me. Even like, not only in stressful situations, but in like the beautiful moments where I was like observing just the most amazing landscape and there was nobody there with me. I was like, oh, you know, like I kind of wish I had somebody for this.
I don't know, you do get lonely, I suppose, in a way. Just, it's nice to be sharing the experiences with someone, sitting down, having a beer, having some food with people, having a bit of banter back and forth.
You can have the best moments, but also the lowest moments when you're traveling. Like when you're by yourself, you can't really blame anyone if anything goes wrong. It's all on you. So I think you do learn a lot from that.
Because in travel, you're gonna fuck up so much, right? Our most vulnerable side is out during travel. Like the side which we hide during real life.
Of course, it's perfect because you can do whatever you want, but still, you have to decide everything. Where I go, how I go, you have all of your backpack, and you have to find your train, your seat, and yeah, and it's the beauty of the human brain. After months doing that, it's kind of normal.
I don't know, your environment is like changing around you, you're always meeting new people. Even though after a while when you're doing it, you kind of get fed up with that too, because you're like, oh, you end up saying the same story like over and over again. And like you might only meet them for like one night and then it's new people the next day.
Telling everyone where you've been and you know where you're from and to know where you're going and it's, I don't know, it's just kind of a superficial level. I mean, sometimes then you'll connect with people, but I don't know, you get tired of, you know, saying goodbye again.
And also, you know what, it's try to spend some time alone, because like I feel like when you're traveling, you're like always surrounded by people and you don't really have the time to just think about what you're doing in that moment, you know. So you just need your time to just sit and think, look what I'm doing, I'm just here all alone traveling to the other part of the world. Like I don't know anything, but look at what I'm doing, you know.
To actually feel the essence of a place, you need to stay there, you need to observe, you need to listen, you need to be a part of this momentum. That is why I keep on shifting my cities too. I don't travel them or visit them, I stay there and live there for some time.
I've been back over 6 months now, and I still feel so almost out of place, if you would. I feel very comfortable and happy that I'm home, but also, again, there's always that thought in the back of my mind, like, why do we do what we do? Why do we live like this? And it's just a different way of life, and it makes me question everything, to be honest. But I think it's supposed to do that. It's supposed to make you question and make you wonder, like, why am I here in this, you know, life, living the way that we do? I don't know, it makes you question everything.
I had like a very awful like post-trip depression. I don't know how to call that. It was like my last year of university, trying to figure out what I want to do after the graduation. So yeah, it was like very strange, like facing adult life, and I didn't want to actually.
I feel like after a few weeks that I was back, I booked like my trip to Scotland and then another trip there and then something else. I was like, so where are we going next?
Because I was very ready to go home when I got home. It was nice. It made me appreciate like how good I have it here, and like surrounded by great people. Made me appreciate what I had a lot more.
Like I'm working my ass off now to save up money to hopefully travel again, but in between you should still just enjoy life, go back to nature, go for a swim or cycle around, and just think back of those moments, but also just be in the moment.
And sometimes I forget, and then life goes by so quickly.
It was the first time of my life I experienced something on my own. It's like to step out of your life for a short amount of time, and for your other people at home it's like a blank page. They only will know what you tell them, and some people aren't even interested, and that's okay. I didn't do it for the story to tell, I just did it for my own, I think.
my idea now, sort of going on a holiday. It's opened up the possibility in my head now that I could just head off on my own for a week somewhere and just stay in a hostel and probably meet people there and have fun. Whereas like 2 years ago, that wouldn't have crossed my mind.
I say that I have a new superpower because when I want to go to a museum exhibition, a concert, or even a restaurant, before I would have wait for other people, and now I just go. I used to be not feeling very good, a bit weird, when people I don't know talk to me, but now I'm looking to do that. So whenever I can, if I can talk to strangers, I'm happy, and it was completely the opposite before.
I was quite shy when I was young, but I think since traveling, it's brought me out of my shell, and you kind of realize, oh, everyone's going through the similar things. Why do I care so much about what people think?
I mean, after all the trips that I've always felt like I was different, like something changed my own perspective. At the end, if you think about it, like your personality, it's just like copy and paste of all the things you see on your everyday life. So if you just travel, you just take something from everywhere and just make yours.
And I think in order to grow and be more you need to expose yourself to situations, places, people, because you cannot just be a spectator. You need to be a part of this show.
Even if there is a tiny part of you that wants to do it, you need to listen to that part.
Just do something small first, like go to the other side of your country and, stay there for a week or something and try that out first. And then, like, once you realize, oh, that was fucking easy, then, go bigger the next time.
I think a lot of people ask as well, like, why would you want to travel by yourself? But there's so many people doing the same thing. You're never actually really alone when you're traveling. There's always someone there to help you.
I think everyone should try it. If you really don't like it, it's only one plane ticket away.
Right.
And you're back home. And you tried, There's nothing to lose. Only so much more to gain.
I was really nervous before the days before, and then I found myself on the plane and I started crying, and I was like, this is so exciting. Like, I was just buzzing. I had so much fun, and I have never met anyone else coming back from a solo trip being like, oh, that was horrible. Even from the most skeptical people, that they did go and it was amazing and they want to go back and do it again. So if you're thinking about it, there is a monster in you that needs to be unleashed.
Every time you travel, your heart starts beating in a very different rhythm. When you're about to leave your home, lock your door and leave. Life allows you this freedom only certain times. As long as you have this freedom of traveling alone, of exploring yourself to different cultures, different places, different landscapes, you should. We are here on this planet for a very tiny fraction of time. Might as well explore it. That one trip is going to change you. Just go book that flight. Just don't think, just fucking do it.